Welcome, my lords, to Isengard. So if you have been living under a rock for the last 24 hours, say you just turned your phone off, you don't want anything to do with crypto, you don't want any communications with anyone, your girlfriend is being so annoying, or boyfriend, and you just turn your phone off. You just turn your phone off like a normal person does when they get really just want some time by themselves. Well, if you did that, you've missed out on a lot in cryptocurrency. One being, the ultimate thing being, CZ has stepped down as CEO of Binance, and Binance have been charged $4.3 billion, and he's been charged, I think, 50 billion or 50. It's not 50 billion, 50 million, or 150. I can't remember, but so many numbers being thrown around, so many fines, so many things going on. It's crazy. It's so crazy. And the timing of this, everyone's talking about the timing of this. Everyone's talking about how it's all planned. You've got Altcoin Daily talking about, did BlackRock take down Binance? Did Cryptos R Us? But was it planned by BlackRock? And you've got Lark as well saying BlackRock just broke Binance. Like, everyone is saying the same thing, and it's crazy. And it's just because of Binance. If you've watched these videos, especially the Altcoin Daily one, because it's a lot shorter, because the other two are live streams, Cryptos R Us and Lark Davis. But if you go on Twitter, CZ does his sort of statement on Twitter, as everyone does. Everyone goes on Twitter and has to say something. Oh, have they said anything on Twitter? Have they said anything on Twitter yet? Let's go on their Twitter. You know, Twitter is the place to go when this shit happens, right? I mean, there was so many updates from Watcher Guru, my number one source for breaking news. They usually get everything right. The DOJ did their long and boring press conference about what has happened yesterday. Well, it was yesterday's news. And oh my god, you can't get more one-sided of a discussion than they were doing, right? They were just essentially saying CZ is being charged because criminal charges against Binance. Right, here's the main thing, right? CEO CZ pleads guilty to violating criminal anti-money laundering requirements. They go on and on and on about how he was dealing with, essentially the way they were wording it was how he was allowing criminals and terrorist organizations to have Binance accounts, where they don't speak about anything like their own banking system, right? They don't speak about that, do they? They don't say, oh, but we do have our banks here in America. There are probably known terrorists and criminals who have bank accounts in America, but they don't speak about that because they don't. Because Wall Street is just Wall Street, and we got to cover up everything we can. Because crypto is the danger. Crypto is the word over the last 10 years or so that is just like a word that's just very negative to these boomers that do these things that, you know, you can just tell that even when they're talking about crypto, they call it virtual. I know they have to use the terminology, but the way they call it virtual funds or virtual money, it's all virtual. The money in your bank account, yes, is cash, right? But it's still virtual. I can't remember the last time I held physical cash and paid for something. Well, the other day actually. But you know the point. They get the point. Everything's all virtual. You know, they're printing money virtually. They're putting numbers on screens virtually. They're borrowing money from all these different countries, right? That they have to pay back virtually. So they can shut their stupid mouth with that stupid shit. Anyway, it's basically when they just contradict, you know, being hypocrites essentially. And when you think about it, these cryptocurrency exchanges such as Binance, such as Kraken, such as even Coinbase, who are being sued, who is like the golden child of all these, I think a load of investment companies are behind Coinbase, even though they're being sued by the SEC. However, these exchanges, like I was just talking about with the banking system, these crypto exchanges are far more transparent than these banks will ever be, because these banks do deals under the table. Nothing's on the blockchain to witness. Everything you see on crypto is on the blockchain. Everything is, you could say, on paper, visually, virtually, quote unquote, as they say, online to see. All these transactions are online to see. That's how they find these criminal people, these criminals. Whereas the banking system, they slip under the rug. They just are unknown. Because you can have a bank account and have so much money in there, but be a criminal until you are found out. And until you are found out, your bank account, of course, will be seized. Until they are found out. But it's so unlikely that these criminals in real life will be found out because of the nature of the banking system. You can just transact it, you can just withdraw, you can send it to... There's just so many loopholes you can go through, right? To make sure that that you're not tracked. I mean, ultimately you will be tracked. I mean, it's not a system, it's not a perfect system where you're going to be, you know, mission impossible and undetected. But when it's on blockchain, what I'm trying to say is it's a different game. It's everything is just there in front of you to see. And with this whole news of Binance and CZ, I think there was it $1.4 billion got taken off Binance customer funds, people withdrawing naturally. I did the exact same because there is no way, you know, here it is, 1.3 billion. I mean, I still trust Binance, of course, but there is no way I'm having the chance, because there's always risk. There's always that chance and the risk of them actually announcing that they're freezing their accounts. This stuff happens. What's that? 1.3 billion plus 4.3 billion? What's that? 5.6 billion in one day? Man, that's no pocket change. People could say, oh, they're covered. They're covered. Guys, $5 billion in one day? Do you think that's going to sting a bit? You know, they are obviously having internal meetings, and the topic of freezing accounts is of course going to be brought up. It may just be like, okay, we've got it covered. We don't need to consider that yet. But the fact that it could be mentioned in meetings, internal meetings, is, you know, it's obviously a possibility. It's, you know, if I was CZ and I was the CEO or the new CEO, that would be one of the things I would want to take into account, to potentially freeze customer accounts to protect them. But of course they say your funds are safer and they've got everything covered, which is good to hear. But you know, CZ has obviously said a lot of things. That's why he's got into serious trouble. Like when it says this, Justin, Binance allowed ISIS, Al Qaeda, and Hamas to transact on the platform. It's one-sided words like this that really just make the crypto space so toxic when it doesn't need to be. You know, what was it? USDT blocked or froze accounts that were impacting war the other day as well. They're doing it all the time. These massive crypto organizations, they're on top of it. But of course, when this stuff happens, it's like, how strong is your KYC is what they're saying. They're saying don't trust the biggest crypto exchange in the world. And if you can't trust the biggest crypto exchange in the world, then how can you trust crypto? That's the message here. However, and it's just such a contradicting, why in the fuck have you even bothered to do this? But I know at the same time they want to get Binance out. That's what Altcoin Daily, that's what Cryptos Are Us and Lark is going to be saying. I've not watched the streams, but that's what they're going to be saying, is that BlackRock have more or less, because of Binance has been such a dark sort of cloud over the crypto space with all these allegations going on and these court cases, and the fact that, what was it, 2017 or 18, I can't remember the date, where Binance had to leave the US and they told people just to get your funds out, and then they launched Binance US. You know, they've been on a journey, Binance. They've been on an absolute journey. They've grown to be the biggest exchange in the world. It's because of these criminal allegations that we now know in such a rapid time. I can't believe how quickly this has been all, you know, been brought up and settled and done. This 4.3 billion thing, that was like 48 hours ago. We didn't even know that there was a 4.3 billion charge fine on CZ. We didn't actually know that. And then suddenly, instantly, with a snap of the fingers, almost within a day, it gets settled and he resigns as CEO. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's kind of unbelievable. It kind of is unbelievable how fast. I mean, we know. I was listening to a Twitter space, and some individuals in the Twitter space were already aware of what was going on for about a year, even the amount that was going to be charged. So there are people who know about this, of course, but when it gets brought to the public, you're like, oh shit, that's happening? Wow, that's happening today? I didn't even know, that sort of thing. That's why it's breaking news. That's why it's being, oh man, oh god, like this, it's crazy. So yeah, BlackRock, they want to get this done so they can get Binance out the way. If they're going to come into the field, then they're going to want to have the biggest sort of throne when it comes to Bitcoin and crypto now. That's what it looks like. So if they have the biggest throne, or the flashiest car, or the biggest dick in the space, then they want that, right? They want that, and they want Binance out because of how big they are, one, and two, because of this criminal investigation thing that's been going on for such a long time. It makes way for the Bitcoin Spot ETFs to be approved, because now Binance is out of the way. That cloud above us, quote unquote, it was never a cloud for me, has been cleared. That CZ has been taken down. But he's taken one for the team here. That's what everyone's saying as well. And it's no more obvious than yesterday. You just step down, you don't even defend yourself, you plead guilty. It's just like, yep, do it. Let's move on. Let's get crypto to where it should be. I don't want to stand in the way. That's how I see it anyway. That's up for debate as well. That's not a guarantee, but those are thoughts that, opinions that one might have. Yeah, breaking news the last 24 hours, CZ's gone down. If we look at the price, if we look at BNB and in general crypto, let's go in general crypto. The last 24 hours, BNB was down over 10%, and all the major altcoins as well. Avalanche went to, I think, 18. So a lot was down, and of course, Bitcoin barely flinched. I mean, the whole of crypto barely flinched. I don't know what I'm talking about. It barely flinched. You could call this a major black swan event in the crypto space. The macro space, there's no like plague happening, there's no COVID again to dramatically cause the markets to severely dump. But this is a black swan event in the crypto space. Undeniably, Binance, CZ, $4.3 billion fine, resigns, pleads guilty, and this is a massive dent in reputation for crypto temporarily, because what's going to come is BlackRock, Fidelity, ARK, all these major firms are going to get their ETF approved now that Binance is fully out the way. This is a good thing for crypto. This is good. Short term, it seems like the name crypto reputation has been, again, one step forward, two steps back sort of thing. But ultimately, it's not. The media. I was on my Sky News app on my phone, Sky News in the UK here, and I was looking for Binance, and it came up as a major headline last night. I'm not sure if it's still there. I'm just going through it now. It's not there anymore on top stories, but it said Binance cryptocurrency exchange fined for $4.3 billion for criminal activities. That's the headline. That's what they went with. And for the everyday person to see that as a headline, and they're like, oh, crypto's a scam straight away. If they see the biggest exchange in the world, crypto's a scam basically. And it's stuff like that that's really misleading to the public. 2 months time, say, when these ETFs get approved, it's completely contradicting what has just happened, because in a sense, because the public, you and I, everyone here knows that this was a very sort of niche case. Crypto is not a scam, we know that. But when they see this, the public, the general public, and they see, oh, BlackRock has approved a spot ETF on Bitcoin, and so has Fidelity, and so has ARK, and so has all these other people, Vanguard eventually. When they see that, they're going to be like, but wait, what about, I remember hearing 2 months ago that Binance, the biggest exchange in the world, or whatever they were called, or how some people call them Binance, like the woman yesterday on the press conference. It's Binance, for God's sake. So when the general public sees that, they're going to be so confused, or they might just forget about this whole thing, because that article's not even there anymore. Well, it's still there, but the headline is not there. Yeah, that's my little take on it. I got my funds off Binance completely, just in case, because I'm not taking any risk. And that's what 1.4 billion people did as well. Was it 1.4? Something like that. 1.4 billion? 1.3 billion withdrawals. And I saw on my withdrawal, there was other people in total. I think there was like $4 million on my transaction, which is crazy. It was like 114 Bitcoin on my transaction on the withdrawal. It was nuts when you actually see it, because I went to see just to check that specifically, and it was about half an hour after the news. I took my crypto off there, and I'm not taking any chances. I was looking to keep it on there just for a while because I trust Binance, but with this sort of situation, you don't know. And when I saw 1.3 billion, I was like, okay, thank God I took mine off, even though I noticed it's still safe on Binance, but you never know. That's why always trust your instinct. 1.3 billion is a lot of money, but it's still peanuts to them, and they can cover it. I shouldn't have to justify that, why I took my funds off. It's a given. Yeah, everyone have a lot. It seems like a lot of people had the same idea, of course. And when there's breaking news like this is globally breaking news, then it's a dangerous and topsy-turvy time where what do? Do you keep it on there or do you just take it off? So I just took it off. Especially with how unfortunate things have been in crypto for, you could say arguably me and people who follow me on my channel. You know what we're talking about with these sort of DeFi plays. And so I'm not taking any chances with a Binance exchange. I'm not taking any chances with that, that's for sure. When someone gets charged and resigns and charged 4.3 billion for their company, no way. There's no way I'm keeping my money on there to begin with. Of course, I'll go back. Got no problems with Binance at all personally, but when stuff like that happens, you do worry a bit. So that's why I took it off. I'm not going to leave it on because I trust Binance so much. They're fine. They're a-okay. I'll put my life on Binance. I'm not that sort of person. I never will be, especially with any exchange. So that's why I took it off. Did BlackRock orchestrate this? Because, 470 something ETFs approved and only one denied ever? They are the biggest one. And for Bitcoin Spot ETFs to be approved, there's no denying that something like this would have had to have happened. You got to get the big guy out of the way, the bad guy for them. He's not a bad guy. But when you've got allowed ISIS, Al Qaeda, and Hamas to transact on its platform, then you are considered the bad guy in the space. Money laundering, all those fancy words that they like to use, even though their own banking system is a joke, absolute joke, but that's where we are. And of course, crypto adoption is going to come when these spot ETFs get approved. It's like little steps going up the stairs to a better situation, but right now we've come falling down the stairs a bit because of this. But ultimately, like I've been saying, this is still very beneficial for crypto. We've got Binance out the way, even though Binance were not doing well, of course, with what's going on with CZ, but he's taken one for the team for sure, because you can't argue that these terrorist organizations were the reason, and he's paying the fine for that and all that criminal activity going on. Because look at the banking system. I'm not going to go into that again, but look how they don't know what's going on, or they're not even transparent. Blockchain is so transparent, and now Binance have to agree to be, literally 100% transparent now. Of course, what they have to go through, that's the legal process now. Now until the end of time, they have to be good boys. So yeah, that's my take on it. That's just my overall thoughts on the last 24 hours, because it's been crazy. I wasn't going to do a video straight away on it. Yeah, I thought I'd do a video today about it, just to talk about it, but I wasn't going to do like one straight away, because everyone's going to talk about the same thing, and what's the point? And I wasn't in it just to rush a video out, just to get views. You got Altcoin Daily for that. You've got Crypto Wendy, you've got Cryptos Are Us, you've got all these bigger players for that. My channel is just for opinions and, of course, fact. So yeah, I recommend watching Altcoin Daily's video. He goes into detail about what's actually been going on, how it all sort of makes sense. The bull run is coming, and here's why. And of course, his conclusion is because of this reason, because BlackRock took Binance down. essentially, behind the scenes. And it just opens the door to the ETF, right? We've got the crime out the way, quote unquote. Now let's approve these ETFs. Alright, so that's what I have for you. If you enjoyed today's video, consider clicking the like button. It is free to do. Subscribe if you want more. I do random content, so subscribe if you want random crypto content with other random things. And I'll see you on the next one.